G'day and welcome to Australia. This is Adam from Mad Micro RC Mods, doing another just quick for fun sort of mod video. Does anyone remember this helicopter? Oh no. Okay. Well, it still doesn't go forwards or backwards really well. I don't care if it doesn't go backwards. I wanted to go forwards really fast. Most of my videos in the past have been about making things more powerful, mainly with micro RC cars and planes and stuff, making them go faster. Performance, that's what it's really all about, is getting stuff that works okay or not that good or really well and making it better, making it faster, or making it perform the way it was supposed to in the first place. So anyway, this one, I got some plans. I'll just quickly go over it and then I'll do it and then show you the result. By the way, if you want to see how badly this thing flies, link in the description. I did a video already on this one. It flies okay, but its forwards motion, even after I modified it, is okay, but nowhere near enjoyable for what it should be. So we're going to fix that if we can, or we're going to destroy it trying to find out. Oh boy, that's awfully close. There's no clashing there. Okay, so that's it. Now, first up I tried flying it as you saw it, no added weight, and yeah, it didn't really make that much difference, if any. The prop angle of the rear prop could also be part of the problem, but I believe it was thrust itself, weight displacement, and pushing crap up a hill, basically trying to get this to work as it was. So I changed up props, put a two-bladed prop on, and decided to give that a try. A bit less weight on the motor, might spin up a bit more. Slightly different result, but not really any better result whatsoever. I mean, that was about as good as it got, what you see there. So yeah, then I tried a lot more pitch. Two-bladed prop again, but a lot more pitch. Sort of got a little bit of a push out of it, but I mean, not really any good compared to what it was like. So I think what happened in the end was I added a little bit of blue tack to the front and tried it again, and still no real result. It did sort of put on a little bit of performance, but that's more of a torque throw thing when you're turning, which gives it the appearance that it's going forward. It's not really moving forward. And then you can see it was moving forward a bit without thrust, so obviously the blue tack on the front was a little bit too much for it, and yeah, it wasn't right. So back to the drawing board with this one. Okay, in conclusion, I tried this prop, a different prop, tried this prop, which is doesn't have a lot of pitch to it, but basically I couldn't get enough enough power into this rear end to overcome the downforce from these blades pushing down to get it to move forward properly. I did apply enough blue tack, it went forward, yeah, but you couldn't stop it from going forward or make it go backwards. So this, I'll have to say, so far would probably be the biggest fail of 2017. I don't know if I'll ever air this, maybe next year. For now we'll call it a fail. I think the problem really at the end of the day is if I put a bigger motor on the back here, you've got to move it further up into the boom here because the weight of the motor starts to actually tip the chopper backwards, which is what you don't want. Also, I don't think the board that's in there provides enough amperage to this motor. It's probably like half an amp or something because it's not running properly. It's not pulling its full RPMs. So yeah, it was a lost cause from the start, but who cares? It's, you know, what you do to try and what you learn to find out. That's impervious. By the way, I was flying with my feet then. Impervious to feet though, is it? Sorry, you shouldn't do that with your toys. This thing is junk. So, as you can probably tell, I get a little bit frustrated with failure. And yeah, so far no good, this one. Helicopters can be tricky. This counteracting bar at the top helps to prevent it from wanting to go forward. Also, the speed controller in the helicopter itself does not have the right amps to power these motors. They're spinning up slowly, which is a sure sign you don't have enough amps. So, I've got one trick up my sleeve, or one last desperate attempt at this, and that is to get this Plankico 3-channel receiver. It pulls 2 amps to its motor through a built-in brushed speed controller. I'll use a 130 milliamp battery, so this thing's going to have 2 control systems and 2 batteries in it. Yeah, a little bit funny. But it'll only take me 20 minutes to do this, and basically I've soldered the lead on already to the motor so I can plug it straight into the board, and I will fly the helicopter with the handset on my hands, and I'll be using my foot on the Plankico controller to give me thrust on this one. Okay, this will be attempt number 8, 9, something. Basically, I've finished the modifications. You can see the Plankico board is now installed underneath. The aerial's running up the side, just taped on. I just used double-sided tape because, you know, this board is worth, when I bought it, more than this helicopter. So I'm going to remove it. Basically, you just put a battery underneath like that. Actually, let's give it a quick try. Turn on your Plankico kit. Board will initiate. You can't hear anything, no actuators running. Arm the board up, down. There, you hear a little noise and then, oh. So it's blowing a bit. If I put stuff behind it, you'll see it. There we go. So it's got a little bit of puff to it. There's a plastic prop. Let's see if it'll blow that away. Yeah, so hopefully I got thrust enough now. And yes, if this doesn't work, I may, out of frustration and anger, just put a bigger and a bigger motor on it until it breaks or works. Anyway, if you've just tuned in, yes, I must be completely insane to waste this much time on an infrared chopper out of just pure frustration. And also the fact that I'm going to try and fly it with 2 controllers now, using one with my feet and the other one with my hands. Got a bunch of props, a bunch of batteries. This thing's going to go forward, or I'm going to throw it as far as I can forward out the window upstairs. I'll film it. Anyway, let's see what happens next, shall we? Okay, so I decided to give it a second try, obviously, and I took it a little bit slower this time. You find with these choppers there's a bit of a ground effect, which can help once you get above a certain height, then things change a bit. The only thing that I probably should have done is given up, where I did before. Now I put blue tack on the front, and too much, as you can see, it's wanting to go forward with no rear thrust. Balance, or centre balance of these things is pretty important. So I think I reduced the blue tack and had another crack. Well, no, not yet. You can still see it's a bit heavy at the front. And you find these things will have a pendulum effect, unfortunately, because of that balance bar. It tries to counteract any tipping or pivoting. So it's another great crash. And yeah, well, I tried and tried and tried, and eventually, like, you know, I got it to go forward sort of there, but it had too much weight on the front. So it's not really a win. It's not really fast. I mean, that was with no prop at the rear running, and it's still pretty much put on the same performance. So, and then I hit the wall again, which I painted only a couple of weeks ago, leaving marks, and got frustrated. I don't know who left that Nerf gun laying around, but definitely a lot of fun. I'd pretty much give up for now at this point, I believe. I think that was it for it, and it's sitting on the bench and I'm still looking at it grumpy. I still have one thing left to try, but I'm so angry at it. I don't know if I will. Anyway, Adam out.